What if I told you that some teenagers are quietly building wealth, without rich parents, expensive courses, or even a single dollar to invest? While most people think investing begins with money, the truth is far stranger. Real investing starts with something almost everyone already has, but almost nobody values. And once you discover it, you'll never look at your future the same way again. Most people believe investing is reserved for adults with full-time jobs. They tell themselves they'll start after college, after getting promoted, after making real money. But those excuses quietly steal years they'll never get back. Imagine two teenagers. One waits until 25 to invest. The other starts learning at 15 with $0. 10 years later, the second teenager isn't ahead because they had more money. They're ahead because they built something money can't buy overnight. Experience. Chapter 1. The biggest lie about investing. Script. Here's the biggest lie you've probably believed your entire life. I need money before I can become an investor. That sounds logical, but it's completely backwards. Money is rarely the beginning of wealth. It's usually the result of habits built long before wealth arrives. Every successful investor once knew absolutely nothing. They made mistakes. They asked embarrassing questions. They felt confused. The difference is simple. They started anyway, while everyone else kept waiting for perfect conditions. Psychologists call this the action bias. People who take small actions learn faster than people who spend years thinking. Your brain doesn't grow from imagining success. It grows from experiencing reality. If you truly want to invest starting at zero, your first investment isn't dollars. It's attention. Every book you read, every financial video you study, every mistake you avoid becomes invisible capital that compounds for years. Chapter 2. The asset nobody talks about. Script. Most teenagers think they're broke because their wallet is empty. But the wealthiest asset they own isn't inside their wallet. It's something adults desperately wish they could buy back. Time. Think of time as fertile soil. Every small seed planted today grows roots while everyone else is still deciding what to plant. The magic isn't the seed. It's how long the seed has to grow. So if money isn't your greatest advantage, and time is your secret weapon, then what should you actually do starting today? The answer isn't what most people expect. In the next chapter, you'll discover the first real investment every teenager should make before ever buying a single stock. Chapter 3. Invest in skills before stocks. Script. Most beginners ask, which stock should I buy? But the better question is, what skill can make me valuable? Stocks can multiply money. Skills create it. Before your dollars start working for you, you need to become someone who can earn those dollars in the first place. A teenager who learns video editing, coding, graphic design, writing, or sales isn't just learning a hobby. They're building an engine that can produce income again and again. The greatest investment is the one that increases your future earning power. Think about it this way. Imagine someone gives you $100. You can spend it once. But if you learn a skill that earns $100 every week, you've built something that keeps paying long after the first money is gone. This is how wealthy people quietly think. They don't ask, how much money do I have today? They ask, what can I build that creates value tomorrow? That tiny shift changes every decision they make. And once your skills begin creating income, another question appears. Most people lose at this stage, not because they earn too little, but because they don't know what to do with what they earn. Chapter 4. The trap that keeps people broke. Script. The moment money enters your pocket, your brain starts playing tricks on you. Suddenly, everything feels affordable. A new phone, better shoes, another subscription. Small purchases seem harmless until they quietly become your financial future. Behavioral scientists call this present bias. Your brain naturally values today's pleasure more than tomorrow's reward. That's why saving feels difficult, even when you know it's the smarter choice. Successful investors don't have stronger willpower. They build stronger systems. Instead of asking themselves to be disciplined every day, they make good decisions automatic. Imagine receiving your first $50. Instead of spending all of it, you decide that every future payment follows one simple rule. A portion always belongs to your future self before anyone else. Now you've built something far more powerful than savings. You've built trust with yourself. And that's when investing stops feeling impossible. But there's still one invisible force that can either multiply your success or quietly destroy it without you even noticing. Chapter 5. Your circle is your portfolio. Script. Most people think a portfolio is made of stocks. But before you ever own a share, you're already carrying another portfolio, your friends. Every conversation, every habit, and every influence is either increasing your future value or slowly draining it. Have you ever noticed that people slowly begin to sound like the friends they spend the most time with? It happens so quietly that you barely notice it. The jokes become the same. The habits become the same. And eventually, the future becomes the same. If everyone around you laughs at learning, you'll slowly stop learning. If everyone talks about building skills, saving money, and creating opportunities, your mind begins moving in that direction without force. Your environment is quietly investing in you every single day. Choose friends who challenge your thinking instead of protecting your excuses. A single conversation with the right person can change your financial future more than months of scrolling through random videos. And once your mindset begins to change, something incredible happens. You stop chasing quick money and start understanding the quiet force that creates almost every fortune on earth. Chapter 6. The Secret Power of Compounding. Imagine pushing a tiny snowball down a snowy hill. At first, almost nothing happens. But with every rotation, it becomes slightly bigger, then heavier, then unstoppable. Wealth grows the same way. This is why starting early matters more than starting rich. Time keeps adding another layer, and another, until small decisions become life-changing results. Most people underestimate what tiny actions can become. Reading 10 pages a day, saving a few dollars each week, learning one new skill every month. None of these feel impressive today. Together, they rewrite an entire future. Chapter 7. The fear that stops almost everyone. Then comes the question that freezes almost every beginner. What if I lose money? It's a reasonable fear, but fear has two very different voices. One protects you from danger. The other quietly traps you where you are. Every investor loses sometimes. Every entrepreneur makes mistakes. Every expert has embarrassing stories they rarely tell. Failure isn't proof that you shouldn't invest. It's proof that you're finally participating in the real world. The biggest financial mistake isn't losing your first $20. It's spending 10 years too afraid to learn. Because while money can return, lost time never does. And now you're ready for the final step. The simple roadmap that turns everything you've learned into action. Chapter 8. Your first investment plan. You don't need thousands of dollars to think like an investor. You need a system. Every dollar you earn should have a job before it reaches your pocket. People who build wealth don't wonder where their money went. They tell it where to go. Your first paycheck doesn't need to change your lifestyle. It needs to change your habits. Even $5 set aside every week teaches your brain a lesson that's far more valuable than the amount itself. You are becoming someone who pays their future first. Once you've built that habit, start learning how real investments work. Understand index funds. Learn what risk actually means. Study businesses instead of chasing hype. Knowledge protects your money long before experience does. Don't rush because social media makes wealth look instant. Most overnight success stories hide years of invisible preparation. Real investing is supposed to feel slow. That's exactly why it works. Chapter 9. Building wealth without waiting. Here's the mistake that traps millions of people. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait for more money, more confidence, more knowledge. But the perfect moment isn't coming. Momentum is created by movement, not by waiting. Think about riding a bicycle. Reading about balance doesn't teach balance. You learn by wobbling forward. Investing is the same. Start small. Learn continuously. Improve with every step. Your first investment doesn't have to make you rich. Its real purpose is to change your identity. The moment you invest, even a tiny amount, you stop saying, I want to become an investor. You become one. Identity always comes before results. Every powerful habit begins with one decision. This is who I am now. The actions that follow become easier because they're no longer forced. They're simply part of you. Chapter 10. Think like an investor for life. The greatest investors aren't obsessed with money. They're obsessed with learning. Because they know money follows value. The more problems you solve, the more opportunities you create. Your age is not a weakness. It's your greatest advantage. Adults can earn more than you today, but they can never buy back the years you still have ahead. Time is the one investment that keeps rewarding those who respect it. Imagine yourself 10 years from now. One version of you says, I'm so glad I started. The other whispers, I wish I had. Those two futures are separated by one decision you make today. You don't need permission to build your future. You don't need to wait until you're older, richer, or luckier. The habits you build today are quietly writing the story you'll live tomorrow. Every great investor once stood exactly where you are, at the beginning. Years from now, people may look at your success and call you lucky. They won't see the books you read, the skills you practiced, the small amounts you saved, or the moments you chose your future over temporary comfort. That's how real wealth is built, quietly, patiently, and consistently. So here's my challenge to you. Before today ends, take one action your future self will thank you for. Read one chapter. Learn one investing concept. Save your first few dollars. Because investing doesn't begin when you have money. It begins the moment you decide your future is worth building. If this video changed the way you think, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.